Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hi,
Hi.
welcome.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. All right. So, yeah, this is a CR Gameroom Wednesday live stream Talking Heads, basically. Um, we're doing something this week. We have Ronathan PXPX. Everyone welcome in Ronathan. Hi, Ronathan.
Hello.
So this week we're going to be talking about some odds and ends stuff and also ranking the X-Men movies. This is everything from Fox, basically. So, we have a presentation we should have. So we'll have that.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We were working on it right up until the very last moment. So, let me see Twitch chat.
Top tier production.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
All right. So be sure to check out all those people that we just posted on our Talking Heads. We try to just get going on it. So if there's someone in there, if you don't know anyone, check them out. They're really good. We recommend all these streamers that we posted on screen. And anyone else that's not on there, it's not that we don't recommend them. Go to our Discord, check out to see who else is there, because we have plenty of people. There's a flavor for you there. So
There is. There's so many flavors, you can shake a stick at them. Bobby Salsa. That's me.
So
also, shout out to Ronathan PXPX_live, who is guesting with us, like Chris said. Check him out, give him a follow.
yeah. How he's missing people for affiliates, so if everyone just like go over there and follow him, make sure that he has to have the anxiety of like, oh god, I gotta stream to get the affiliate. Give him that anxiety right now on stream.
Yes,
Just
put
like
that pressure
basketball.
on me.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
So Ronathan, besides playing Among Us and killing us, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, next week I'm actually planning on streaming some Rocket League. I've been getting myself involved in that, as well as there's a Mario Rabbids game that's like an X-Men column style game that I want to stream as well as I got to do my board games. So the Ashes Reborn collection is going to be coming out next month. So I got all the old Ashes Rise of the Phoenix Born that I'm going to unbox and start to play and delve into.
Nice.
And Mel, thank you for the biddies. So Ashes, that's that LCG, right? It was a card game.
Yeah, it was an LCG
white box.
dice.
Yeah, it was dice too.
Yes, it does. It has these dice right here.
Okay,
Nice.
look familiar.
It's right
like
next to me.
Ashes. I had like a white. Well, there were white. It's a white box and it's kind of like wings and stuff. And yeah. I think that's it.
I'm holding it up right.
Yeah, I used to have that. I got rid of it though because I didn't have anyone to play with.
Well, it's relaunching again.
Dang it! I had some cool organized play cards too that I got when I went to go play a couple times. But not no more.
Can't get in here with them shoes. Tell you that right now.
Well, you can order the
Cyborg
Reborn
BOI.
kit, and they'll upgrade you and get you all set up.
Mer said, "My arch nemesis." Who's your arch nemesis, Mer? Oh, the sus is strong. I guess it's Ronathan.
Do it! Make your dreams come true!
What up, Mer?
What is up, Mer?
Everybody's
Just
favorite
do
third
it!
poster
Make
here.
your dreams come true!
Oh man. All right.
The whole department's here right now.
Yeah.
The private eye.
Yeah.
Thank you for the biddies, Jazzy. Thank you.
Thank you for the biddies.
We had a promising 2021 graduating third poster class, so we're proud of them for picking up the slack for me and Cheesy not being there last Friday.
The third posture is strong with them.
Yeah, it was kind of, that was my first Among Us week not actually playing and me being pissed off as hell the whole entire time. So my audio messed up because of this.
That little thing right there.
That little thing right here.
Bluetooth dongle.
Yeah, Bluetooth dongle messed with my shit. It totally killed it for me. So I couldn't get it figured out until like halfway through. Yeah. But
I did that once. By the way, I don't know why I kept going off.
I have my
that's cool, man.
I have my other computer built, so it shouldn't happen that much more. So hopefully that'll be done.
Stolen Dude, don't feel bad about the sound alerts triggering twice. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
They're there for you, the people. So feel free.
So, all right. So, Joe, what you got going on your channel?
Yeah, what you doing?
Whole lot of filthy casuals. What I got going on?
Oh, the brand staying strong.
Yep. Kingdom Hearts, Jedi Fallen Order, and Pokemans. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to be doing sort of a class, not so much a master class, but a class on how to build a deck from scratch.
Filthy casual class.
Oh, that's
Yeah, a
cool.
filthy casual class. So that's going to be next Thursday. Tomorrow, I'm going to be showing what a tuned ADPZ deck looks like and how it performs in the expanded meta.
80 C BVD.
Chanel 47. Thank you. What?
Thank
you.
you for hopping into our
Wait, hold on.
Discord.
Oh, that's just them saying hello. I've never seen that in the moderator view. That's
well,
weird.
Hello. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Either way, hello. Welcome. What did Stolen do? It's a talk show. It's talk show night. We're just talking today. Today we're going to be ranking the Fox X-Men movies. So that's everything from the 2000s X-Men movie all the way up to Deadpool 2 New Mutants. I think New Mutants was the last one to come out.
New Mutants.
So we're going to be ranking all of those movies. There's 13 movies. We're going from 13 to 1 and talking about why we placed them where we placed them. We did a account within the game room ourselves, which is myself, Ryan, Chris, Joe, and Mike. We also have Ronathan's here to give us his perspective on where he would have placed his movies. So I got those. Chris got those for me from Ronathan, and when we run through the list here, we'll tell you where we spot them. And you can tell us if y'all agree or disagree with where we place the movies. Tell us if we're crazy. But at the end of the day, you like what you like.
Yeah.
So
side note,
that's just kind of the way we see movies.
Side note: we actually gave Ronathan a heads up instead of Jordo just springing it on him 5 minutes before we start. So there's that.
They're like, hey, Jordo, you want to be on? Yeah, cool. This is what we're talking about. And we didn't tell him what we're talking about till literally right before. So he had to remember the movies. I'm like, I don't know. Did I like that? Did I even see it?
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny.
Great. Now you gave even Jordo even more of an incentive to murder me on Friday.
There you go.
As if he needs more.
Motherfucker, die.
As if he needs more, honestly. Come on.
For sure.
Man.
Megos, what's up?
Did we talk about what Ronathan's been doing and what his schedule is going to be like?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we give him plenty of airtime.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we give him, because you guys went straight into me and I was like, what the hell?
No, we didn't go straight into you. We talked about Ronathan.
Yeah, Ronathan said he's going to start playing Rocket League. Weren't you listening?
God.
I heard that.
Are you on the show?
And then I showed this box.
Yeah, then he showed Ashes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, man.
Hey, that was 5 minutes ago. A lot has happened in 5 minutes.
Thuggish, thank you for those
the biddies.
On a side note, from yesterday from the hype train, Rob has officially got a onesie now.
I ordered a onesie yesterday, everybody. It's happening.
We got to level 5 hype train.
That was amazing. Again, thank you all very much. Thank you. That was really exciting because I feel like I put on the most boring streams, and y'all being there and just getting that hype train going was amazing. Made me feel good about myself. So thank you very much. I appreciate every single one of y'all.
Yeah, anyone just
very much
hanging out and just talking to us, it makes a difference. And then when the hype train comes out of nowhere, we're like, oh shit, all aboard, fuck.
So, yeah, all aboard. It better come with a bib. It doesn't, but I mean, we can get there. We can get there. All right. Well, update on our Dice Master stuff. There's not really an update. We're still working on getting the invitational stuff ironed out. Chris and Ryan are the organizers for the most part. Chris has been busy dealing with his job stuff on the side. And then so has Ryan, and with the holidays and everything. Chris is officially a licensed person for something.
Licensed insurance, Texas licensed insurance person now. So yeah,
he's got a license to ill apparently.
Yeah.
So
where's your license to ill, Robert? Where's your license to ill?
I didn't pull one out of my Cracker Jack box yet. I'm sorry.
Hey, that was an expensive ass Cracker Jack box, by the way.
Yes.
Those are not cheap.
They're really
They
not.
are not cheap.
No, I'm sorry. I got a fiddle faddle instead because they're a little bit cheaper than Cracker Jacks.
Now he has time this Friday to renew his inspector's license. So.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
You know what, G-Ray? He might. He saw that comment. He's like, "Oh, I got to get one of those flutes now." So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
and also we might be getting matching onesies in the future depending on what people think of the onesies. Just saying, just throwing that out there right now, just saying.
Matching ones.
Hey,
By
gonna
we,
be
you
great.
mean everybody else but me in the game room, right? That kind of we.
no, I'm saying me and Rob because we'll go to conventions and hang out together. So
Oh, goodness.
we'll look like we're partners in the bedroom.
Hilarious. Oh my god. Power bottom.
Yeah, you're a power bottom, bro. Come on.
General Lines license. What does that mean, Mel? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I got my general line, my 2044.
Oh,
So
that must be insurance talk.
it is insurance talk. I don't want to do it
We got to that segment of the show where we do insurance talk. Thanks, guys.
And I've been doing insurance for a couple of 3 or 4 years now, and you guys haven't known about that, and I like to keep that way because I don't like to talk about insurance. It's so boring.
Insurance is a headache and boring at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's move along.
All right.
Yeah, G-Ray, I think we might actually do that, honestly. Woody and Buzz. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what we've been thinking about. Yeah,
Yep. So,
yeah. So if we
For
go up to
these.
Ohio, everyone will see us wearing that.
oh, that's going to be weird.
How to lose a community in 5 days.
I don't
Or
think that. I think that'll
Bring
be
it together.
Yeah.
Bring it
Bring it
galvanized.
together.
Superman.
The
Yeah.
memes. Think of the memes, Joe. Think of the memes.
Exactly.
Oh, it's perfect with that Buzz costume. Think of all the memes.
All the
Exactly.
memes. That's what we're here
Oh.
for. We're for it. We're for it.
All right.
Cool. So again, everybody, we're going to be ranking the X-Men Fox movies. Well, I guess they're all Fox movies at this point. From X-Men to the 2000 X-Men movie, the very first one that set it off, to the New Mutants, the last movie to release under Fox. I guess it was Disney, right? Whatever. After the merger, and we're going to go through all 13 of those films and rank them 13-1. So, I'm
Okay.
going to go. Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, go for it. Everyone, this is we were yelling and trying to get each other oh shit. Sorry, Joel, thank you for the raid. Holy craps. 9
you got
people.
here just in time. Ooh. Got here just in time to see everything go crazy.
Yeah,
So welcome everybody from the raid. We are about to rank us some X-Men movies.
Heck yes.
So
Oh,
ooh, I kind of like that you could see us on the side there. That's kind of cool.
why is it just me and you? That's weird.
That is weird. I don't know. Maybe
gonna-
once people start talking, it'll change.
Yeah. So,
Hello?
no, didn't change.
Hello?
All right.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. We'll fix it in post. Well, it'll be fine.
We'll do it We'll do it live. All right, guys. So again, here it is. Is it doing it? Is it showing up on the stream? Is it changing?
It's doing it.
It's doing it.
It's
It's doing it, Peter. All right. So the CR Gaming ranks. Bum bum bum. The X-Men Cinematic Universe. All right, let's do this.
Daddy
Ready?
Smurfs in chat for the presentation Rob put together.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. All right.
All
So
the
again,
Smurfs.
all the Daddy Smurfs. So what we're looking at again is X-Men, X-Men 2, what is that called? X-Men United, X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, The Wolverine, X-Men Days of Future Past, Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse, Logan, Deadpool 2, X-Men Dark Phoenix, and The New Mutants. So that's all of the movies that we are putting in order 13-1. I don't think we missed any, right? That's all of them? We
That
don't
is
have
all
any
of them.
surprises like last week where we forgot about the Joker.
Well, that's not really part of the DC universe as it stands right now. That's a completely separate story. So,
that.
technically no, but yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go into this. We're gonna start off was number 13. Number 13 in here. Guys, what do y'all think in chat? Let us know. What do you think is the worst out of the X-Men series?
All right, everyone, hit us up. We should probably hit him up
Give
right
us one.
before we go to the 13.
Yeah, here we go. We'll do
because
that.
there's a little bit of a delay.
This is we're learning. We're learning. It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
So just get your number 12 prepared, and we'll just move on to number 13.
What was
Number
the worst
13.
movie? Oh, go ahead.
For us in the game room, it was X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think we were all pretty in line on that one. We all thought it was bad.
All that have seen it, we were in line with it.
Yeah, for the most part. Move this over to the side. Look at that fancy animation.
Ooh.
So we gave it an average of 11.8 out of, there's 13 slots. As you can see, Mike hasn't seen it.
That's going to happen a lot in a lot of these rankings.
So again, it's an average. So Mike not seeing it doesn't play into the average. So overall, Brian 12, myself 12, Chris gave it a 12, and Joe gave it an 11. Jordo says it was poop. Poop-a-loop.
Well,
go ahead.
Jordo, you're not on right now. Ronathan, what do you think?
I can concur. It was purple. I have it ranked as my number 12.
So you gave it a 12 also.
I gave it a 12 as well too. It took me about 5 times to start and stop it, and
Wow.
usually that doesn't happen with movies.
Dang,
You were
bad.
This
just not that
basically felt
interested.
this basically felt like it was supposed to be 2 movies, and it was mashed into one, and it was just like, oh, we'll cut this, we'll do that, and it's just completely disjointed for me.
It was supposed to be 2 really bad movies together, is what you're saying.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I just felt that them going through with we had X-Men First Class in the 60s, then we had Days of Future Past in the 70s, and we're making each one every decade. I mean, we didn't need to see 90s X-Men Force happening.
next thing you know, they're going to have an X-Men
Yeah.
84.
X-Men 84. For me, with this movie, it wasn't good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a good movie. I don't think it's trash. Like a lot of people thought it was trash and garbage. It was just like this. Here goes. It goes up and then it just like stays like this the entire time.
Yeah.
It stays flat. It builds up a little bit and then it just stays flat and goes absolutely nowhere. Like nowhere.
All right.
So with a big story like Dark Phoenix or the Phoenix Saga and X-Men, it should have been better.
Yeah, Jordan fart.
That's what he thinks of that. Chris, what did you think? You want to give us some feedback on it?
I kind of agree. The Phoenix Saga in the comics was an amazing story. It was kind of a sellout halfway through the thing, and then it just changed, and they wound up fixing it in the comics. I feel like the concept of the Dark Phoenix in the movie could have been a good idea, but they kind of just fell flat. They kind of didn't. It seems like Fox and Friends do not know how to write comic book movies when it comes to this type of movie. So that's what it seems like to me. It was a weird mouthfeel. So
just had a weird mouthfeel. Wasn't good. Yeah, a lot of people are saying they haven't seen it in chat, and there's probably a good reason for that. Yes, Doug is G-Ray, Sophie Turner is hot. Moving along. That was probably the best part of the movie.
Also, the worst Phoenix. Also, the worst Jean Grey, in my opinion. So I can't buy her as this. Fun fact about the writer of this movie.
What about Joe?
Joe's busy.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Ronathan.
Fun fact about the writer from this movie. He also wrote X-Men: The Last Stand, which was also trash in my opinion as well.
That one was not good, but I have it. We'll see where that stands. The Last Stand. Joe, do you want to give us your thoughts on Dark Phoenix before we move on? Sorry.
The reason why I had Dark Phoenix at number
you had it
11.
At 11.
Yeah, the reason why I had it at number 11 was because it was really bad, but it wasn't as bad as what I thought was the worst one, which you guys actually coincidentally rated higher. My number 12, y'all rated like way higher. But yeah, this movie was bad. It was just everything about it was just screamed bad.
Megals, come on, Megals.
Megals just shoot you back into the basement.
So I love how exposed I am in my different tastes than the rest of the game room with these lists, because you'll find it. It's pretty I have some pretty radical thinking. Yeah, I really am.
Wow.
Cool. All right, well, let's move on to number 12. Number 12. We have the Wolverine. Hugh Jackman.
I kind of want to give
Wolverine.
I want to give my opinion on this first. Is that okay?
The Game Room gave us an average of 11. Let me give you the numbers here. Mike hasn't seen it. Ryan gave it a 10, put it in 10th place. I had it at 13. Chris had it at 13, and Joe had it at 8. So he is the one that threw off the numbers there, or else it probably would have been the worst one. Chris, go ahead and give your thoughts on this one.
This is the worst made-for-TV movie ever put on the large screen I've ever seen in my life, honestly. That's when we were talking about it internally in the game room. All I said, it's a made-for-TV movie. I don't know why everyone thinks it's not that good at all, and that was my reasoning for just putting it as dead last. So, yeah,
gotcha. This is another one that I thought was just lame. Didn't go anywhere. I was upset about the Silver Samurai being a robot. I didn't like that he lost his powers. Like, how many times are we going to see something like that? I don't know. I just thought it was lame. Overall, just lame. The best part of it was at the end where she shows him the actual Wolverine costume in the suitcase. That was the best part of the entire movie. Other than that, it's forgettable. Ronathan, you actually had the Wolverine ranked number 7. That's higher than where Joe had it.
I did. And I think I may have a little bit of an attachment from when I was a middle school kid. One of the first comics I picked up was the What If series. And it was what if Wolverine had married Mariko. And so that brought a lot of sentiment back for me. But I also feel that while I have huge disappointments about the Silver Samurai, I feel that it's actually a pretty decent movie as far as developing the character Wolverine.
Okay. Joe, you had it at 8. What did you think?
I share the same sentiment as far as like what made the movie good. The only shortcoming was the CG mess that was the Silver Samurai. If they had just done like Silver Samurai as like a regular person, and they didn't even try to throw you off with like that twist at the end, I think it would have been a way better movie. Chris is right though. The reason why it's a little bit lower on my list is because it does kind of fit that bill of like made for TV movie, but I think that's because the production was kind of short on budget, shorter than the regular. Like it had half of the budget of Origins, and it was shot in a very different way. But overall, I liked it because it talked about one of the rare stories, rare Wolverine stories that is actually one of my favorite, where he goes to Japan, and this is for the first time. They kind of based it off of that arc, and in fact, Silver Samurai, he does meet Silver Samurai, and they have a fight, but it's not the one that's depicted in the movie. So
yeah, I remember those comic. I think this is from the Wolverine miniseries, right, in the 80s. Him in the kimono.
It's the mid 90s one where they go back and they talk about the missing years between Canada and
then I'm
World
thinking
War
about
One.
something else then. Okay. But yeah, I remember some Wolverine covers where he's in the kimono and stuff like that, and it looked freaking awesome. Yeah, overall, didn't really care for this one. I still bought it. I went to go see it. I don't think I saw this one in the theaters. I think I bought it on Blu-ray or DVD at the time, whatever. So
I love how
I'll support the movies that way.
Hang on. So I love how we're having a completely different conversation than chat is right now, because chat is just all about those abs, and we're all like deconstructing and constructing the movie and what we thought made it better, and everybody's like, "But those abs, though."
They're about to have ab babies.
Wash your clothes on those bad boys. You can shred some carrots on there. Make you a nice salad.
You can julienne
some cabbage going.
Hashtag those abs.
That's what it is. Yeah, can we get some hashtag those abs? Get some Daddy Smurfs in there for those abs.
Oh yeah, Daddy Smurfs all about.
Why hasn't Daddy Smurf made an appearance in the chat, guys? Come on. I like to rub some carrots on those abs, if you know what I'm saying.
The only reason that I set this apart as not being a TV movie is because out of all the X-Men movies, this probably has the best score that was ever done, that made me feel the ambiance of what was actually going on, especially the closing scene is like, where are we off to next? And so that one always sticks with me as like my favorite like score piece from the entire X-Men series.
See,
Okay.
I
Thank
maybe
you
I
for them
haven't seen this
biddies,
movie in a really
Joel.
long. Thank you for the biddies. I haven't seen this one in quite a while, but I don't remember really liking it that much. I felt like it was kind of forgettable. That's why I had it ranked kind of lower. There is a sentimental attachment for me
Thank
with
you
all
for
of
the
these
biddy.
other. Thank you for the biddy. I see what you did there, G Ray, with the Papa Smurf and the weenie bit. Oh, Megals, thank you for getting that sub.
Oh.
For that sub. Thank you for that sub.
Jordo thanks you for that sub.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll stop harping on the Wolverine and we'll talk about why I like these other things because it's kind of tying together. I know it's not all about me, but
Bye,
moving on.
Abs.
Bye, Abs. Hope you find your dad. So number 11 on the Game Room's list is X-Men Apocalypse. All right. Overall, the Game Room gave this an average of 10.5. Mike hasn't seen it. Ryan gave it an 11. I put it at 10. Chris put it at 9, and Joe had it at 12. So second to last on his list. Ron, you actually had X-Men Apocalypse at 10 at the same spot I did. Do you want to tell us why? We'll start with you.
Well, when it comes to
man.
Apocalypse, this is like the mega villain, and so we're supposed to
First mutant.
really, yeah, exactly, the first mutant. We're supposed to really be hyped with this, and it was just the start of what felt a really disjointed, like what we were going to see eventually in Dark Phoenix, as to it didn't know what it wanted to be, and especially coming off of First Class, Days of Future Past. Like this was really exciting, and it was just ooh, my favorite character happens to be Cable, and I was wondering, what are we going to see some interaction between Apocalypse and Cable and talk about the techno-organic virus? No, I mean the best that we got is when Magneto first meets Apocalypse and goes, "Who the fuck are you?" You know, that's how they use their one F-bomb in that PG-13 movie. Is Magneto going, "Who the fuck are you?" And so it's just yeah, that was pretty much the best part of that. And just watching Magneto's journey of losing his family and just trying to have it. That's the only part that's redeemable about this movie.
Thuggish. At any point, Mike can watch almost any of these movies with us. We will gladly watch it with him at any point. Yeah. It's just Mike. Mike doesn't have a priority for movies.
Yeah. You know, it's like that. Like I tell everybody, like if you're interested in it, you're gonna watch it. If you don't really care about it, you're not gonna watch it just because somebody suggests it to you. Like you gotta have an interest.
Ooh, I want to know why Chris has this at number 9. I want to know why Chris has it at number 9.
Chris, tell us why you have it at number 9.
I enjoyed the movie. 9. I thought it was entertaining. I separated it from the rest of this, all the movies in here. And granted, yes, Apocalypse was a little bit. Well, thank you for them biddies. For that biddy.
Thank you for the biddy. That one's for Sophie Turner.
Yeah. So I did think the villain was a little bit weak, but I did like the storyline that it had. The some of the Magneto and some of the other people against the X-Men and the Horsemen against the main cast, and I thought it was a good storyline. It's just in the end the villain was a little bit weak. There's only 13 movies, and I put it at 9, so it's not like I had it super high. So let's just get that straight right now.
Yeah, it's not like that's good. You're close to the bottom there.
Yeah.
With this one. Joe, why did you have it at 12?
I mean, much like a lot of the movies in the 2010s, it promised these big kind of, epic villains and this big epic story, and it just fell flat, completely flat. Like no amount of good CG or good acting was going to save this movie at all.
True. Yeah.
And it's just like the story falls apart super easily because Apocalypse is the most powerful mutant. He can literally disintegrate bodies, but yet he only does that once in the whole movie. And you're like, where was this at? Like, why does he need 4 horsemen whenever he could literally just do anything he wants, including disintegrate bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
because that doesn't make for much of a movie if you do that
exactly.
the entire time.
So it kind of felt like they wrote a lot of times in the movie, put themselves into this little corner. They painted themselves into this little corner where they just wanted everybody to be razzled and dazzled by the spectacle, and there was no substance to it. And that's why I put it so low, is because like with the Wolverine, at least it was a small, grounded kind of story that was self-contained. and it didn't try to be bigger than it was, except for the Silver Samurai thing with the CG. But that was a CG issue. That wasn't so much like a story and character issue. With
Gotcha.
this one, it was like a story and character issue, and like I tend to look at those more whenever I'm critiquing movies. If those fall flat, then it takes me out.
Yeah, but
Gotcha.
the other thing is, in the comics, he has 4 horsemen, and he's just as powerful in the comics. Yet they also restrict his power in the comics because they don't want that doesn't make good for good stories. That's
Exactly.
That's exactly what they do in the
Well,
comics too.
Yes
I
and
agree
no,
with you.
because he
Nope.
can only do so much.
No,
In fact, he literally has his 4 horsemen because he can only do so much.
But he goes
Well,
into
same
the
thing with the movie.
he goes into the ultimate. He goes into the Hellverse or whatever the hell it is. He could literally kill everyone, and everyone has been someone that's been training their whole entire lives to come back and like kill Apocalypse, and they don't kill him. He doesn't kill them because he views them as his children. He views all mutants as his children, so that's why he doesn't
Yeah.
disintegrate them.
Yeah, and I'm
Go ahead. Go ahead,
and I'm willing to accept that there's like movie differences to comic differences that
Mhm.
we're not going to see the exact origin. But
Yeah.
like Talon was saying, the Horsemen should have been cooler, and all that should have been explained a lot better as far
Yeah.
as why the Horsemen were that important to him and why they were a necessity,
Yeah.
or else.
So
And I'll
rather
give,
I
than doing
think-
like a big arc of like 1 to 2 to 3 movies, 2 to 3 movies, they just tried to contain all
Yeah.
that in one movie. Like setting up
True.
the 4 horsemen should have been its own movie, and then
Yeah.
introducing the Apocalypse on the back half of that movie. That should have been its own movie.
Yeah.
And that way we'd go into the second movie and like, oh, Apocalypse is a big bad. Like, everything starts to get rolling.
yeah,
But I don't think really movies, these, especially the X-Men movies,
Mhm.
that's not their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
they
what
just
I
try
mean?
to pump them out.
They're not into
and-
world building. These are single standalone films that are kind of connected. The thing about like these movies, especially with other companies besides the MCU, they have a template for how they make their superhero movies, and that's what we're gonna get. So you have to take them for what they are, unless you get a hold of something like Deadpool,
Who breaks
where
the
it's
mold.
just something totally crazy. Yeah. But for me, for like Apocalypse, I took it for what it was. Again, I didn't rank it very high, but Olivia Munn as Psylocke, I thought was awesome. The casting
Yeah.
was a great choice. She just got the movie was just bad. She got shitty lines. It just wasn't good. I think if they were to recast her as Psylocke and actually give her a decent script, I think she'd be really good at it.
She got
Um,
I
she
think she
got
did
2
good with-
lines and 3.5 minutes of screen time.
I think
yeah,
she
she put a lot of effort into it.
she
and
slayed it for
wanted to
what
play
she
that
did.
character. Yeah, exactly. And
No, I'm not downing her. I'm
Also-
saying like it was a tragedy what they did
Yeah.
with her. In the
Oh no,
movie.
no,
yeah,
no.
tragic.
I'm just building on
Um,
that. And
Archangel, I thought Archangel was awesome. He was one of my favorite characters in the X-Men. I think he just looks fucking cool.
they do him
The
so
introduction of
dirty.
the Storm
They
was
do-
awesome.
Mhm.
And overall, yeah, it was kind of a lame movie. That's why I have it ranked so low. But again, I'm one of those, I like to see my favorite characters on screen. So it's that little nostalgia feeling from reading comic books in the 90s and growing up with those guys. And that's why I had it at 10. And it wasn't the worst, but again, not that great.
And
So I agree with King of Dad Jokes sentiment about Apocalypse being an awesome character no matter where you look, but they didn't really have anything to build a good movie off of
Yeah.
him.
yeah,
as
I
a
mean
villain.
it goes to the kind of weak writing because the thing that Fox always did is they always like had their heroes written to where they're super badass and they may come against someone that's super powerful, but they always overcome and they don't have any kind of blockage for them just taking the day. And that's a Fox issue. That's not the character's issue. That's Fox. That Fox, their
Yeah.
writers don't do it right, and that's a writing issue, and that's in all the Fox X-Men movies.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
All right, let's move it along to number 10.
We spent so much
All right,
time on the
number 10.
Mabs before.
I know. Number 10, we have X-Men Origins Wolverine.
God, this movie.
Y'all remember this one?
I remember.
So overall, the Game Room has this ranked at 10.3. Ryan gave it a 13. I gave it a 7. Chris gave it an 8. Joe gave it a 13. And then Mike hasn't seen it.
You'll notice a running theme.
Ronathan actually has this rank kind of high like I do. He has it ranked as 9. I have it ranked as 7. Chris has it at 8. I'll start with me because y'all are just going to keep talking because Joe likes to explain everything. So I have it ranked at 7, kind of in the middle. When this movie first came out, I was super excited about it. I thought it was really cool that they were doing the whole Wolverine Origins thing. And I actually got a bootleg version of it early on, and I watched the crap out of it, dude. I watched it almost every day because I like to have background noise. So I had it. It was the bootleg version where the CG wasn't even in there. We had the little gray models and everything.
Oh,
So I had that, and I like the Gambit. It was in it. Gambit was another one of my favorite X-Men characters growing up, especially in the '90s cartoon.
Oh, mon ami.
Mon ami. And then I don't know. I kind of like the little love story, even though it was a little cheesy. I'm a sucker for like a cheesy love story in a movie. It wasn't good. Like I'll admit, the story was kind of lame. It was kind of cheesy, but it was cool to see Wolverine become Wolverine in that movie. The whole I don't know why they like to do this with the animal-based characters, where they start making them run on all fours, and it just looks ridiculous because you can tell they're being lifted by a wire.
yeah.
It's like, just don't even do that. Just run at them, man. Make them run faster or something. I think that looks dumb. Bootleg version equals theoretical cut. Sorry,
Theatrical
CG is still
cut.
bad. Oh, theatrical cut. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't great. I agree with y'all on that. It didn't look good. I didn't think the guy did bad that played Gambit. Honestly, I thought he was pretty decent. I was looking forward to a Gambit movie, even if they decided to pivot to that other dude. But whatever. That's my take on it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. Middle of the pack X-Men movie.
Yep.
But everyone else hated it. So y'all tell us why. Tell us why.
Yeah, Liv Schreiber as Sabretooth, he was really good.
He was good.
I think, for my part, why I ranked it so high, and again, 8 is not high for this series, for the X-Men movies. I think they actually had a good progression for the story. They kind of fell flat on the special effects, but honestly, that kind of happens in that era of movies for a lot of movies. But I think they actually did a decent job in telling the character story. Some of them, not all of them. I'll give you that. It wasn't all of them, but they were trying to run through a bunch of them, and you can't really have all of them be known. But I think they did a good job on the ones they wanted you to know. Not a great job, but a good job. So,
Ronathan, tell us why you had it ranked higher.
So I had it ranked at number 9, and I felt that this is like the one movie that has like the perfect casting. Liev Schreiber kills it as Sabretooth. Danny Huston, he's the guy who plays a younger version of William Stryker. They're 2 for 2 in casting William Stryker, in my opinion. I felt it was just the right cast just for those 3 characters, and it just fell apart. So the guy who directed this is Gavin Hood. He's the one who directed Ender's Game. So he really, exactly right. So that brings its own like, and we do get to see the weakness of actually one of the writers, aka David Benioff, one part of D&D for Game of Thrones. So this is his week writing on just putting this whole movie together. So I mean, it's just
wrote the last season of Game of Thrones too.
Exactly.
Jeez.
So I mean, it was fine for what it was. I enjoyed Sabretooth. It has probably the best opening out of any of the X-Men movies. Just that whole sequence of watching him grow older with Victor Creed, and you can just see him becoming Sabretooth, just becoming more and more unhinged throughout. And it was cool to see him just throughout the Civil War, World War I, and World War II. So,
all right, so tell us everything that's wrong with X-Men Origins Wolverine.
rest on your shoulders, Joe.
The fate of the world is on your shoulders.
I actually agree with everything you guys said. Great actors. The first 20 minutes of the movie is fantastic. But it all fell apart from there. It was just like, let's try to cram in as much of these extra characters as possible to make Wolverine seem like this more tragic hero. And then the production was just really bad after the first 20 minutes of the movie. The CG was bad. The storytelling was bad. The writing was bad. The acting was great. The actors, I wish they would have kept those same actors. And guess what? They actually did in a way. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it, because we got tons of other movies, and I've taken my time on the other ones. But this movie was
there's more movies for Joe to shit on, so don't worry, everybody.
The first 20 minutes cannot redeem the whole movie, though. Everything else was just trash about this movie.
Night Mel.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
I think the fight that they had at the end was kind of weird, but it was okay.
It was over the top, and like giving Deadpool that many powers just had him be like a Swiss Army knife of mutant powers, so that he could make Wolverine look like he was, weak, because Wolverine is practically the best mutant out of all of them because you can't kill him, or he's hard to kill.
Giving
So what are they
Deadpool
gonna
all
do
those
then?
powers without him having the ability to break the fourth wall was terrible. I'll say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just a really bad movie because the first 20 minutes were golden. If they would have kept that same momentum, they would have centered on Wolverine and Sabretooth alone without even bringing in the extra cast of characters. I think it would have been great. I think it would have been a wonderful movie, but you just had everything else that just tanked it. Like minute by minute after the 20 minutes, you're just like, man, this is terrible.
Thank you, Legion.
Yeah.
See you later.
Later, Legion. That is shitty Deadpool. We never would have gotten the one we have now. That's also true.
Yeah.
So.
It is true. That is true. It does lay the groundwork for a good Deadpool.
Yeah, because Ryan Reynolds was like, no, this is going to be a good character. I don't want this to be a bad character. And he just like kept at it. So,
yep. All right, moving on to number 9. Number 9, we have X-Men: The Last Stand. Overall, the Game Room gave it a score of a 9. So Ryan put it at 6. I put it at 11. Chris put it at 11. Joe had it at 7. And Mike's actually seen this movie. He put it at 7.
Joe had it at 10.
Joe had it at 10. Sorry, Mike actually had it at 7.
We're so used to the bottom person not having anything.
I know. And then Ronathan, you actually put it at 11. You want to tell us why?
Yes, X-Men the crap stand. That's just how I refer to this. So I mean, I'm definitely at harsh on like directors, and this is Brett Ratner, the guy who did what is it? Oh my gosh, Jackie Chan in Chris Tucker movie. I can't even think. Rush Hour. Rush Hour. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, this is just his just disjointed version of like, we're just gonna throw all the X-Men out here and then basically just have the Phoenix in here, and then watching Cyclops just get obliterated just out of nowhere. I mean, that was just it would have been better just to have an off-screen kill rather than just watch him disintegrate. So
yeah,
let's go to the good real quick. Let's go to who thought it was who was better than everyone else real quick. Joe? Oh, Mike.
Joe
Mike's not here. Never mind. Oh,
Mike.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Joe,
so
tell us
I will say out of the X-Men movies, right? It came off of that trilogy. You know, you have X-Men, then X-Men United, and then Last Stand.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like, I don't think it was worse than Dark Phoenix in the fact that it was the first one to make all those mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Phoenix had a predecessor, so it could know what mistakes to avoid, but it just ran headstrong into those same exact mistakes.
Let's say, hold my beer.
Because like Ronathan said, because it had the same writer and the same executive producer of Last Stand was the same producer and director for Dark Phoenix. Yep. So you're kind of like, oh, you start to see the pattern. But this is average Ratner, by the way. This isn't like the worst Ratner. This is like middle grounds Ratner. So just to give you a gauge of like how he is as a actor, in my opinion.
To be fair, Mike had this as number 7 out of the 7 movies he's seen. So this was the last on his list.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So
and I think it kind of falls in line.
Yeah.
And so it kind of falls in line with everything else anyway.
Okay.
But it wasn't I'd still watch this again. That's my thing. That's why I have it rated higher than the others, because them again, I'd watch this again.
Honestly, I would watch all of these movies again. Yeah. That's just me. I'll watch a movie.
Except for that one Wolverine movie.
I probably would watch it. Oh, you wouldn't, but I would.
Yeah.
For me, it's bad. I felt like they tried to do way too much. I didn't like the killing of Professor X, the killing of Cyclops to begin with. I didn't like Wolverine being the hero at the end. It's like all of these movies should just be called Wolverine and Friends or something, because that's what it seems like. I thought that was lame. I didn't like the whole just the whole direction that the movie went. Then the cheesy Juggernaut bitch, which was famous for a really long time. It was just lame for me.
Mm-hmm.
The movie wasn't bad, but actually I had it ranked low because of that. But overall, I got overruled. But
You know where that
Whatever.
came from, right? You know where that I'm the Juggernaut thing came
Yeah,
from, right?
yeah, we know where it came.
Educate
Okay.
us.
Yeah.
Is it from the internet? Is it from a YouTube?
It's from the internet. Yeah, it's from
Yeah.
X-Men My Way, and it was
Yeah.
made popular before the movie. So
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So they put that in there for memes, right?
yep.
All right,
Yeah.
Chris, tell us
For the
why you had
lol.
it at 11 for the lull. Yeah, at the time it was a lull, right?
Yeah, it was. Man, it's been so long since I've seen this movie. I just I remember why. Like, I think you're 100% right. If people have no understanding of any of the comic book characters except for what they've seen in the movies, they will think that Wolverine is the most powerful mutant in any of the universes. When in reality, in the comics, he's more of just like a good leader at certain points and just someone who doesn't know how to say, I'll quit. That's the only thing about Wolverine. Yes, he has healing factor, but that doesn't mean he can do everything he does in the movie. That's kind of taking it too far
Well, they
most of
even
the time.
prove it in the movie with Magneto.
Yeah.
Like Magneto just tosses him around easily,
In the
and so it's
first
just
one,
like, yeah, when the first one and then the second one, he tosses him around as well.
Yeah, then they just
Also-
just give him bone armor, bones, and have him be just as powerful. That kind of like, people are like, yeah, he could just have his bones and then he's just as powerful as Magneto.
No, he's not.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Ron?
Also, I don't need a mutant out there to tell me like, oh, this guy's a category 4 or a category 5, mutant level power.
Fuck
That type of thing. Like, ooh, watch out for this guy. Like,
Fucking
Yeah.
Weathermen mutants over here.
Well, no, so it's funny you mentioned that because in the comics they actually do rate them. They rate the
they give them
mutants
like
based
omega
off of,
levels and something.
yeah,
like
they
that.
give them Omega.
Omega
Yeah,
lol.
so they have a scale in the comics because it's the threat that they represents to the world and the universe.
Yep.
right. And you can only do that when you establish it, like
Right.
establish something.
Yeah, it's not
literally
that has to be
established in the
established
third
out
movie.
there.
It's
Yep.
established in the third act of the third movie, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think they
All
need
right.
to just go with One Punch Man threat levels.
There we go. All right, moving on to number 8. We have X-Men 2, X-Men United. We have an average of 7.2 on this one. Ryan gave it an 8. I gave it an 8. Chris put it at 10. Joe put it at 5, and Mike put it at 5. Ronathan, you have X-Men 2 all the way up at number 3.
Oh,
I do.
oh my.
Why? The world wants to know why.
This was the first that I felt like, okay, it was watching the original X-Men movie. It just kind of felt like, okay, is this TV? Is this not? Like, what is this? And I felt X2 really stepped it up. So this was kind of in the way that maybe people hold Iron Man, the original Iron Man, in high regard. I hold X2 in this high regard, as to where we have a really great villain in William Stryker that's introduced along with Magneto. And so Magneto floats around between being a friend and foe. So watching that play throughout the film, as well as getting the brothers united, the whole brotherhood, getting that started, it was just a great journey, as well as watching the actual origin of Wolverine's story
True.
and the hold that William Stryker has over him.
Yeah, I liked it. The whole original trilogy. I just hated how much emphasis was placed on Rogue and like her weird thing that was going on. Like, she was like Claire Danes was like the hotness at the time. I guess if I remember correctly, I think that's Claire Danes that plays Rogue, right? Is that her name?
No, it's Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin. That's right. They kind of look alike. I get them confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was kind of like the hotness at the time. And I was just like, I don't understand why we're using this version of Rogue because she's not that great.
Yeah.
It's the teeny love story, I guess, that was going on between her and Iceman or whatever. But it did feel like a decent sequel. Again, you did, like you just mentioned, Ronathan, you do get to see Magneto. It's not just mutants versus humans. You have mutants versus humans, and then there's still that struggle with Magneto versus humans. You know what I mean? So they were united, but they weren't united. And then seeing Jean Grey die at the end was awesome. Like, I thought that was kind of a cool thing to do. They could have just left that on for the third one and not brought her back and done something totally different. But whatever. X2 was a pretty decent movie. I mean, I had it at 8. That's close to the middle. So it was just all right for me. Plus, Wolverine's hair looks ridiculous in this picture, if y'all can tell.
Yeah, it does.
They didn't quite figure it out yet.
It
They-
looks almost like Ace Ventura when nature calls like hair.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Chicago. All right, Chris, why do you have it at 10? Why did you hate it so much?
honestly, I can't remember that much, and I just it's.
I did like when they did the siege on the mansion. I thought that was a really cool scene.
Yeah,
And then Wolverine's just taking out all those dudes. Like Wolverine is a vicious killer. That's why it's like, why do y'all have him as like the main hero in these things? Like he's some kind of good guy. Wolverine will fucking kill somebody. He doesn't care.
yeah.
Like I didn't understand that altogether.
I don't know.
Um,
It was kind of forgettable for me, honestly. I didn't really like it that much. That's what
That's
I do. I've only seen it once. Any other movie on this list I've seen a couple times, including the movies that I think are worse than this. But
Wow, that's interesting.
yeah, I don't know.
Jordan
Where
was
Wolverine
saying-
here,
Jordan was saying, how about that opening Nightcrawler scene?
dude, that was really good. That was really good. I do like that Nightcrawler scene. I think they did a good job with Nightcrawler throughout the entire franchise.
Yeah,
Even the young Nightcrawler, I thought he was really cool.
yeah.
All right. Moving on. Number 7. So at number 7 we have X-Men Days of Future Past. So this is the one where Wolverine travels back in time. That's all the characters that y'all can see in the background there, with Bishop and Blink and all of those. So we had it as an average of 6.2. Ryan gave it a 9. I gave it a 6. Chris, is that a 6? I can't even read my own thing. Yeah, 6. Joe gave it a 6 and Mike gave it a 4. We're almost all in the same range on that one. Mike ranked it a little bit higher. He had a good time with it. Looking here, Ronathan, you have it as a 6 as well. So we're all kind of in agreement that this is pretty much a middle of the pack X-Men movie. Could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cool to see the X-Men in the future and then go back into the past and see the Sentinels, even though they weren't the normal Sentinels that we're used to. They look kind of funky,
Yeah.
but whatever. Is this the one where he doesn't have his powers at the beginning, Professor X, and then he's taking that pill to make him walk, or that serum or whatever?
Yeah,
And
he
has
was
to get it
taking
back?
he was taking Beast's serum.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was dumb.
Yeah.
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 That's one of the reasons
kinda
why I
was.
didn't like it.
I thought it was a good
The
blending
crossover
of
was cool. Yes, Mike, the crossover was kind of cool.
the blending of the two generations because they were kind of transitioning off the older ones to the newer ones. I thought they did a decent job of telling a story where it makes sense, to where it'd have a divergence and you could have the split. And I don't know, thought it was decent. I've watched this one probably more than a lot of the movies on the list. The only ones being Deadpool and Logan. I have seen more of those than this, but yeah.
The question is, which version of this movie have you watched? Have you watched the Road Cut?
I have not seen the Road Cut. I didn't really have a desire to watch the Road Cut because I don't like Rogue. Like I was tired of her. What makes the Road Cut better?
So she ends up taking the place of Kitty Pryde for when Wolverine hurts her, when he stabs her through at one point when he's having the nightmare or whatever's happening in the future. So she ends up taking over, and so it just has to deal with just that. I forget the other part, but it actually made the experience a little bit better, or else I would have had this lower on my list.
Okay. Joe, what are your thoughts on Days of Future Past?
You didn't even ask him the last movie either.
No, that's fine. I've taken too much time on the other stuff.
I thought I did.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm sorry, dude. Like, no, that's real. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to take too much time on this one either. Perfect storybook ending to the franchise, in my opinion. If they would have stopped here, I would have been satisfied. I would not have been looking for Dark Phoenix. I would not have been looking for New Mutants, because I don't know if you guys knew, but at the end of the movie, whenever Wolverine comes back in the future, everything is literally fixed. Like the timeline's fixed. Scott's back. Like Rogue's back with Iceman. Like everything's fixed. And whenever I say fixed, I don't mean it as a fan. I mean as in like that's the director's original intention with it. He's like, I just want to undo the crap that was The Last Stand and the crap that was all the other stuff, right? So that's how it should have been, in my opinion, and that's why I put it as number 6, because it's the perfect storybook ending. They wrapped both of the timelines up. They wrap both of the timelines up beautifully, and they put everything in its proper place according to the timeline where it should be. Like even starting Wolverine over in the arms of Stryker.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't skip you this time because I totally forgot about that. So there you go. I do like that.
It
That
was
was really
supposed to
cool.
be the ending of the franchise. This movie was supposed to be the last movie of the franchise. This is the swan song.
Hmm.
And then the
Boo.
studio got greedy and decided to go for Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse.
I'm gonna say this
That
right
makes
now.
sense.
Joe's baby, and no one puts him not in here to
Nobody
talk.
puts-
No, honestly, it's fine. I spend too much airtime anyway.
All right. Moving on, we have X-Men. I forgot what number that was. 6. X-Men, the original X-Men 2000. The Game Room has this ranked at average 6, just overall. It was 6, so it's right there at 6. Ryan has it at 5. I had it at 9, lower because I thought it was cheesy.
Yeah.
Chris has it at 7. Joe likes it, and Mike put it at 6. That's towards the end of his list. Ronathan, you have X-Men at 8.
Yes.
Joe, give us a real quick thing why you like this movie. Why you have it at 3.
I mean, it was the movie that started it all. They did an accurate representation, in my opinion, from comic book to screen for the most part. And they even like did a fourth wall wink at the suits. Like, did you expect yellow spandex, right?
Yeah.
But like in reality, like this is a very like realistic look at what mutants be like, and they established that in the world. And yeah, it was cheesy, but it was 2000. Like, name me
Yeah.
a 2000 movie that wasn't cheesy.
True.
Especially comic
True.
book movies. This is the first time that anybody took a serious look at comic book movies outside of The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight didn't happen until 8 years later. So what does that tell you?
I mean, we have it ranked at 6th, and 6 is a little bit above halfway, but the movies that are remaining are really good. So this
Yeah.
isn't an indicator that this movie is bad, because there's just really good movies above it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I had it at 9, so I had it kind of
Yeah.
low.
Speak for yourself.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. I thought it was, again, the Rogue thing. I didn't like Wolverine being the focus of the films. I will agree with you on all those points that you made, but there was just other things for me that just drove it down, like those two things and the storm crap that they did with
Oh
Halle
my
Berry. I
Okay.
don't know, man.
The
It was just dumb.
line from it that always sticks out to me,
Oh.
that I'm always like gross, is Halle Berry when she turns to Toad and says, "You know what happens to a Toad when it strikes when lightning strikes it?
It's true.
Gets
Yeah.
struck. Same thing that happens to everything else." What? That's such a
What?
dumb line. Why was that even in there?
No, that line was ad-libbed. They told Halle Berry to work with it. It was ad-libbed.
They should have workshopped it a little bit more.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
should
I
have gave her
know.
a little bit.
I know. But
Although-
they literally they said they were like, here, just do a throwaway line, because there was nothing in there except for silence and just the scene.
Yeah.
Although the one-liner that I like from that is when Wolverine comes across the imposter Mystique, and then Cyclops comes back out and it's like, "How do I know it's you?" He goes, "You're a dick." He's like, "Oh yeah, it's him." So
Yeah, it's him. That is awesome. Yeah, and again, I don't know. I don't know why I ranked it so low. I mean, there's things that I don't like about it. There's things that I do like about it, but overall, I feel like the other movies were better.
yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't age well. It's not a movie that ages well, and it's
Yeah.
a product of its time.
Yeah, I just didn't like the Rogue thing.
Yep.
Really, I didn't really care for Rogue in the storylines.
Like, why
I
bring
I
her
like
know what
Rogue
along?
in the
you're saying.
cartoon.
I know
But
what
I
you're
didn't like
saying,
in
Rob,
those.
but I felt like they
Mhm.
gave each of the characters their appropriate amount of time to shine on the screen. Yes, they gave Wolverine and Rogue a little bit, but
And also the
I mean,
rushed romance between Wolverine and like Jean Grey,
Jean, oh
like
yeah,
just
that
came
was
out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That
I
was
get it.
hella
Maybe there's a lust thing. I get that, but like it feels like it was kind of forced the entire time, and it's just like, hey, get out of here with that crap.
Yep.
yeah.
No, I'll
This
give
is-
you that. I'll give you that.
This is also why I feel Bryan Singer is a terrible director, is because he doesn't know how romance actually works, and therefore he doesn't know. Yeah,
Well, we know
You're
why
like,
that is.
hot guy,
Oh,
hot girl.
yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Um,
in more ways than one. Yeah.
The thing with Rogue, they brought her along on some of the missions, and it's like, she's fucking useless. What the?
She
Why are
has
you
no
bringing her?
She has to steal your powers to do anything. Why
Yeah.
is she there?
She's more
Yeah,
of a
exactly,
liability than anything.
Yeah, like in the cartoon and the comic book,
She
she
was
has
all-
superpowers. She's super strong and
Yeah.
can fly. She can't
She
do that
took
in this
Captain
movie.
Marvel's powers, though. That's the difference. is that
exactly.
This
And-
version of Rogue didn't take Captain Marvel's powers.
Yeah, so she's useless is the point. Like you shouldn't be taking her anywhere. Like
Yeah.
whatever. But
She was
also,
the
you're right.
MacGuffin.
It started it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Moving on.
Oh my god. We're only on
Number 5. It's fine. We got time, man. New
Yeah.
Mutants. Now, a lot of people probably gonna disagree with this one. We actually, as the game room, had this ranked at number 6.
I thought we had the
An
last one
average
ranked
of
at 6.
We had an average of 6.
Oh,
An average
okay,
of 6.
okay.
There's a tiebreaker because of the discrepancy between the points.
Okay.
So Ryan had it at 7. I had it at 5. Chris had it at 5, and Joe had it at 7. Mike hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it.
There's your discrepancy in points, by the way.
Yeah. Well, it's the 2 points between 5 and 7. The other ones
Yeah.
were like really close together. And then Ronathan, you have it at 13. We actually watched this movie a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and we all liked it. We thought it was a good movie. Like it's different. It's not the normal X-Men movie, so which was refreshing. I thought the girl that played Magic, something Taylor, whatever her name is, I thought she job as Magic. I thought the girl that played Danny Moonstar was cool. I thought she did a great job. I didn't care for the country accent from the one dude.
Yeah.
You could have done without that. But overall, I thought it was a good movie for what it was. It should have came out 10 years ago when it was supposed to. I don't think it's that old, but it should have came out a long time ago.
It should have came out 4 years ago.
But
That's
overall, I
why
enjoyed it.
the chick that plays Magic is in the Queen's Gambit, and she looks much older in the Queen's Gambit. That's why. So,
This
Anya
movie's
Taylor,
actually 8 years old, by the way.
8 years old. Oh my God! Yeah. Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's aged
Anya
quite a
Taylor.
bit.
I love country accents, but that fake country accent is not good.
Yeah.
Ronathan, why do you hate it so much?
Yeah.
Well, I only have this at 13 because I'm like Mike. This is the only one I haven't seen.
Oh, you should have just said not seen it.
Okay.
So yeah. So
All right.
I realized that. I realized that until like you had the mic hadn't seen that. I was like, oh, okay. So
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. It
Yeah.
makes sense because then Dark Phoenix would be the last one either way. So,
but pretty much
so it's
going
not
into
truly
it.
13.
But pretty much going into it, I think it's probably going to be on my bottom 3. So
I don't think so, dude. Honestly, you'll probably like it better than Dark Phoenix or Last Stand. You'll have it
In
at
my
least not in the bottom.
okay.
In my opinion, I rated it at a 7 is because it tried too hard to be too many things at once. And like it didn't work for me because it was trying to be a teeny bopper kind of coming of age story. They should have stuck with that. But instead they tried to make it some thriller, which it was originally billed as a horror/thriller, but just for mutant kind. And I was fine with that. And then they tried to bring in the sappy love story. And why does Joe rate all of these movies good?
He
I
rated
don't.
it at a 7. He rated it lower than we did.
Yeah, this is the bottom half of the list right here.
Yeah, we're already at the top.
Yeah.
This is top 5, so this is number 5.
I'll be honest with you, it just tried too hard to be too many things, and had they stuck with what they originally envisioned, I would have loved it way more. Probably would have been way higher on the list for everybody else too.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen what it would look like before they did all the reshoots, but those are the types of things we'll never get to see.
Yeah.
Chris, did you want to talk about it at all? Because I feel like you can explain movies a little bit better. I just say I liked it. And it was good, but Chris will give you some insight.
So Joe's for the most part, he's right about it. They did kind of try to do too much stuff, but when it comes to superhero movies, I like when they try to do something different, and I feel like they did try to do something different. I don't think they really succeeded that well because I have 4 movies above it, but I feel as though the directing on it could have been a little bit better.
Continue in Meatwad voice.
All right.
So the thing is, this movie, it kind of hit on a lot of things for me. Yes, it kind of tried to do a lot of things, but it wasn't your typical superhero movie. And I like that they told it from the perspective of someone, like people coming up in the world in superheroes. And I think the writing was okay. I don't think it was that great because they kind of just lost some of the characters halfway through. Like they're in the storage room. Yeah, cool. All right, come help us fix this thing. But overall, I think it was a good try to be something different as a superhero movie, and that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the actors did a good job.
Yeah.
There was only like 6 of them or 5 of them in the movie, and I think they all did a good job considering that was all you really saw.
Yeah.
So
It was phenomenal. They did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
They just tried to do too much.
Worth the points every single time. All right. Number four. X-Men First Class. We have, as a game room, we have this at a 4.8. Ryan gave it a 4. I gave it a 4. Chris gave it a 4. Joe put it all the way at 9, and Mike gave this a 3. Ronathan, you have First Class as number 2 overall, so you're not too far off from where we have it.
Joe, why
Joe,
do you
tell
hate
us
it?
why you hate it so much.
They just, in my opinion, they just didn't do enough with characters. Like, I just think that like Havoc is a really great character, and they did my boy wrong with that. But they did Beast wrong, and they played a little too much on the central characters, which is Xavier, Magneto, and Mystique. They played a
Mhm.
little too much on the drama rather than the ideology, and I think that was a miss. Because if they would have played a little bit more on they do cover both, by the way, but they play more on the drama between their relationship, the three of them, than they do on the ideology of Charles and Magneto, because that's what it's always been about. It's always been about their battling ideologies, but they've always been the best of friends. And while they did establish that to a point, to an extent, which is why I have it rated higher than like 10, 11, or 12, I still think that it was missing a lot.
I think they did a good job with the time that they had, because they're establishing a whole new X-Men franchise at this point.
Yeah, you got to view this as
they couldn't be a buddy cop movie the entire time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had to establish things. I think the things that they tried to do were strong enough to where you felt that there was a friendship there, and you can see them split and how it hurt both of them at the end. The thing that annoyed me was when Professor X puts his fingers up to his hand to do his powers or whatever. Why are you doing that? You don't have to do that. It's stupid. But whatever. That was annoying.
Well, they did it in the cartoon series.
yeah.
I know, and it
Yeah,
was
they did.
dumb then.
And Patrick Stewart did it a little bit.
It was dumb then.
Well-
I for some reason when this guy does it, it annoys me more.
I think
though.
it's because he's like very British, and like you just think of him like doing an American accent and doing it against his head. You're like, he's a fake, he's a phony.
He's a big fat phony.
The actor is Scottish, by the way.
Yeah,
He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, British, Scottish, they're all the same.
Oh,
well,
buddy.
we lost all our UK viewers.
There goes, there goes half of our
Sorry,
audience.
Mon Extra.
So honestly, I think it was probably the best X-Men movie until the last 3 that we have remaining came out, in my opinion. The actors I felt like did a good job overall.
Yeah.
What's her name? January Jones was hot as the White Queen. And I don't know. I kind of liked Magneto getting his helmet, like establishing that's where he got it from. I don't think that's what happened in the comic books. I don't remember, but I thought that was kind of a cool touch.
Got the touch.
So I don't know. Ronathan, what do you think? Why did you have it listed at number 2 over the remaining 3?
So jumping off what Joho was saying earlier about ideologies, this is where I feel comic movies are great. Like, why does The Dark Knight work? Because it's actually secretly a heist movie. That type of thing. We're going to talk, what's going to be tops on the list, no doubt. It's going to be Logan, and why that works for later on. Why this works is because, speaking of those clashing ideologies, takes place in the Cold War. So we have this basically as a Cold War movie, and it works just setting up how the divide starts between Magneto and Professor X, which I thought it was just great. My favorite casting out of anybody in the X-Men universe is Fassbender as Magneto.
Yes.
Especially the part where he, the part where you say that, hey, Professor X putting the 2 fingers up is kind of stupid. Where it works is the part where he's going to pass the coin through whatchamacallit's head.
Kevin Bacon.
Through Sebastian Shaw's head, and you could just see just that whole sequence, how they put that together is the best sequence in the entire X-Men universe.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So I'll give you that. And the other thing that made it lose points for me was that Sebastian Shaw, for being the awesome guy he is, because he's actually Mr. Sinister, in the universe, like it just kind of fell flat with him. And
he was
like,
kind
I
of weak.
forgot he was in the movie until you brought that up. I was like,
He was kind of weak.
rather than focusing on yeah, rather than focus on the fouling out of Xavier and Professor and Magneto, like they just gave this external force to them to kind of escalate all this, and it's like, did they really need that? No, they
I
didn't.
think he was there for a reason. I mean, he gave them something to go up against and then to split them apart.
A MacGuffin.
And so, he wasn't the main focus. The main focus was the relationship and how they broke apart and establishing this new universe. He didn't want to have like a big baddie because a lot of like Green Lantern is a really good example where they have this huge enemy and this guy that just became Green Lantern just takes down like one of the biggest threats in all Green Lantern lore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they kind of did that with this to bring it down a little bit. So I don't know. I liked X-Men First Class. I thought it was really good.
I feel like they it was good in the fact that I thought it told the story of the heroes that they're reintroducing, and this version of them. So yes, they're the same characters as the ones in the earlier ones that you've seen and you love, but they're also different, and this is how they got to that version later on. So let us tell you the story about them. And they just, I agree with you, Joe. They didn't do a good job in telling the story, but honestly, X-Men movies are kind of really bad about not having good stories for X-Men movies.
There's too many characters to do it with.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And this is the one with the least amount of Wolverine screen time. So
not enough abs.
So moving on to number
like
3.
that though. I like that though.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 3, we have Deadpool 2 as number 3. I don't think that's a surprise that the Deadpool movies are in the top 3. Overall, and the Game Room gave us an average of 2.8. Ryan put it at 3. I put it at 3. Chris put it at 2. Joe has it at 4, and Mike has it at 2. Ronathan, you have it at 4.
Why do you hate this movie?
Why y'all got it so low? Why do you hate it so much?
I don't hate it at all. In fact, I have it Deadpool 2 ahead of the original Deadpool, and my favorite is the fact that Cable is my favorite X-Men character of all time, and they nailed it with Josh Brolin.
I just wish he was taller. That's it.
And the crazy thing is they make fun of that too, so that was just perfect that they broke the fourth wall. They broke the fourth wall for that. This is the Juggernaut that I want. This is the Juggernaut that I need to see, and they nailed it.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it. Me personally, I hated that they killed his girlfriend off in the beginning because that girl is so gorgeous to me. She's like so beautiful. But I hated that
Marina Baccarin, I think is her name.
Whatever her name is, she's freaking beautiful. But it was good. I liked bringing Cable into the fold. I like bringing X-Force into the fold, and the girl that played Domino did a fantastic job. I know that people were freaking about the casting, freaking out about it. Whatever, she did a great job.
What did they have a problem with her? She was fantastic.
It was the same people who gave people shit over like Heimdall being cast.
That type of casting, race casting. Yeah, it's stupid. But it's like she did a great job. She looked fantastic. She looked like Domino jumped out, for the most part, jumped out of the comic books. The X-Force thing, it was great. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Overall, Deadpool 2 was a pretty good movie. I like that he saved the kid and changed his mind and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who the bad guy was in that movie. Was it just the kid?
It was Society.
The Schoolmaster.
Yeah.
That's okay. Society. The puppy Society.
And also the Brad Pitt cameo too.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was so good. All right, who didn't get to talk about Deadpool 2? Joe, you have it at 4. Why do you have it at 4?
I had to put it somewhere, and honestly, I see Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 kind of on the same page. Deadpool 2 does do a lot of things better than Deadpool 1 did, or than the first Deadpool did. But like you said, the biggest weakness, the glaring weakness, was they had to give him a motivation, and his motivation was losing his girlfriend, and kind of becoming more of a character with heart, because his complaint in the story, and this was his arbitrary complaint, the character made this, that's why it's arbitrary, made it up, is he didn't have enough heart, he didn't care enough. And it's just like, you're almost undoing what you did in the first movie. And he even comments that, he even does commentary on it whenever he's breaking the fourth wall in the afterlife with her. And so like, that's why I put it a little bit lower than Deadpool.
That got me too. Oh, right in the heart. Right in the heart. That movie gave me the feels, man. Movies that give me the feels, that's why these three are in the top for me. That what you'll see here is because of the feels that I get from them.
Okay.
We move on. Are we good?
I'm the next one to talk.
Oh, I thought you already did. Okay, go ahead.
no. Rob just wanted to plow
Tell
through.
us. Tell us why it's number 2.
The reason I had this below Deadpool and Logan is because I feel like Joe said, it lost a little bit of its. The reason that the first one was so great is because you wanted Deadpool to succeed, even though he was this loser jackass who didn't do hardly anything right, who was just an assassin and kind of just fell into being Deadpool, honestly, and joked about it the whole entire time, and yet you realize that he had a good heart and everything like that. This one, it was he at one point he gives up in the movie, and that's shitty, and they undo a lot of stuff, and Joe's exactly right.
Well, he gave up because the chick that he loved was killed by people that he was murdering. So they came back at him. Like, he thought he was indestructible. He couldn't die. He couldn't feel pain or whatever. And then they take her away from him, and now he can. And
at the beginning of the movie, he gives up, and I don't know.
They made the mistake. They made the cardinal mistake.
Human and don't have feelings.
They made the cardinal mistake of beginning the movie in the middle of the timeline.
Yeah.
Because if you'll remember, that wasn't the true beginning of the movie. That, to me, is a huge mistake, cinema-wise.
Well, that's what they did in the first one.
Not really.
No, they didn't.
The whole movie is a flashback in the first one. The second one...
But they don't reveal anything about what's going on, except for that he's on a gurney. That's it.
I don't know.
That little
G-Ray says the same thing. They did the same thing.
No. That was the first quarter of the movie, though. That wasn't the halfway point to the movie. That was just the first quarter. Because he's still looking for Francis. At that point, he's still looking for Francis. So that was just.
We'll talk about it later because I think you're wrong. But we'll move on to the next one.
That take was so dark; it was from the DC universe.
Oh my god. Moving on. Number 2, we have Logan. Now, there is no doubt that Logan is an amazing movie, right? Did Logan win an Oscar?
It did.
I think it did, right? We have it averaged as number 2, so it's number 2. Ryan gave it a 2. I gave it a 2. Chris gave it a 3. Joe has it as number 1. Mike hasn't seen it. Ronathan has it listed as number 1. So this part, I feel like we're splitting hairs for 1 and 2 because most of these movies are amazing. Again, movie gives me the feels. I get the feels so hard in this movie. I get such a feels boner.
You're gonna ask me why
I just love it. Chris put it at 3. Chris, why do you hate it so much, dude?
I thought it was a great movie. I just particularly like the storyline and the progression of the story of Deadpool 1 and 2. And I know people are going to say that's a sin. You shouldn't have number 2 above Logan. I liked him more. I had, on the Grandma scale, it definitely ranked higher for me than on Logan. I did.
Yeah.
Man, Thuggish G-Rays just like keeps popping off for no reason. I'm going to just put a blank on that for now. It's messing up. But on the Grandma scale, this one was a little bit lower. And the Grandma scale for me is what's more fun. And I had more fun with Deadpool 1 and 2 than I did with Logan. I'm not saying that I didn't have fun. All right.
Oh my god.
All right.
Crystal or farts.
There was free farts being given out. Sorry.
Wow. Farts are riot. Farts are riot, chat.
Oh my god. So yeah, it was just a Grandma scale for me. Honestly, that's it.
Throw some tacos at Chris. Throw them tacos. Hopefully, a sharp edge will poke him in the eye, and he'll learn his lesson. Ronathan, you have Logan listed as number 1. Why do you have Logan at number 1 in your list?
So it was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Didn't win.
That's what it was.
But it was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Same guy who wrote who wrote Wolverine, also directed this. And why this movie works is because it is a Western. Mm-hmm. You know, if you want to make a comic book movie that just is above everything else, it has to be something else. So Dark Knight was a heist movie. This is a Western, and we actually get to see what the cost of the adamantium was that was in Wolverine. It was just slowly killing him. So who is the real villain? The villain is time. So and that's where you get to see like, oh, that's what sets us apart, as well as Professor X. That it has an R rating, so we get to hear Professor X drop an F-bomb. It's like, he's fucking 90. What do you expect him? So
yeah. I will say the one thing that I hated about this movie was the young Logan versus old Logan fight. I
Yeah.
thought that was lame. I thought that was so stupid. Like, come on, man. Introduce another villain. I get it was an old man Logan adaptation, and you couldn't really use the Hulk clan because it's a different IP or whatever. You could have used something. Give us something else. Not young Logan. Let's just use young Logan to kill Professor X or whatever. Spoiler alert.
Could you imagine in the
Um,
boardroom them being like, "Hey guys, we can't use the thing, but how about this? We use Logan." What do you mean we use Logan as the fighting thing? Hear me out. It's the young version of Logan. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And Joe, you also have it as number one. Why is this the best X-Men film?
I mean, a lot of what Ronathan said. I was even willing to forgive the CG Logan because the true villain time. And I just, again, the reason why I was nominated was when I picked it because it's the best adapted screenplay. It was truest to the comic books, with the exception of like one-armed Hawkeye and the Hulk clan. Everything about it just hit, and it hit
That was
so
like the
well.
whole man Logan. It's not a true adaptation. The whole man Logan, the whole clan ate his family, and that's
Yeah,
why he
no, no,
went
no.
nuts. Like, it's not
No,
an adaptation at
he didn't-
all.
well,
It's
it's
an
not
that's
a true
why
interpretive.
he went on
adaptation.
Yeah.
No, he went on the rampage because the Hulk clan killed most of his family. But
Yeah.
if you'll remember, Professor X going crazy is symbolic of that was their screen
Yeah.
adaptation of Logan going crazy because of what they did to his mind, and
Yeah.
he's the one who originally killed all the mutants and all the superheroes. And I think that was the closest thing to, rather than what we've seen with X-Men, X2, and actually, the reason why you guys have Deadpool higher is because Deadpool is actually a truer adaptation to the source material,
Way to
and Logan
spoil
was.
number one.
For me, it's
Um,
grandma rating. That's it. That's it.
yeah. So I
Wow.
enjoyed this movie the most because of all those things. Jonathan
I thought you were
about.
gonna say it's because you have little girls, and it gave you the feels. But
Yeah,
that's
way to
cool.
ruin the moment,
mean,
Joe. God.
X23. So their introduction of X23 was flawless. I
So
enjoyed
good.
everything about that.
So good. I want to see that little girl take up X-23 in a different movie or something like that.
Hell yes,
A TV
please.
show or something. A mini series. She's awesome.
Please.
Especially when she's teeing off
Ooh.
at Logan in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Thuggish said,
He's just like, whoa.
She had to- so did you know, little known fact, she actually had to learn English to get into
Yeah.
this movie. She was learning
That's crazy,
English to get
right?
into it.
That's nuts.
Like, that was insane.
Thuggish said, but I did feel like it dragged on. I fell asleep the first time I saw it.
Oh,
he said he got the
Maybe
feels
you were
for it.
just tired. You just
Yeah.
got tired. Yeah, he did get the feels, and that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
On-
number one. Go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, I do feel like out of like maybe like the top five, I feel like this is maybe the least rewatchable. But for the experience that it gave me the first time watching it, especially watching the scene where Logan's trying to fight Professor X as he's like going off, and you just kind of see everybody just stop, and then he's just like battling it just slowly.
Yeah.
Mangold did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No surprise on
It's
this
a
one.
really good movie. No surprise on this one. Deadpool. Look at that. Look at that poster.
Wait till you get a
Deadpool
little.
is the number one X-Men franchise movie, averaged at a 1.2. So we were almost all in agreement. Everyone except for Joe had it ranked as number one. Ronathan, you have it ranked at 5. Why do you hate this movie so much?
I feel okay. So anywhere on my list between 2 through 5, they can be switched throughout. So you can argue any of them ahead. So Logan's the only one that's for sure that you can't move.
Okay, but you said that you can switch them out, but why did you put this one there, though? You made a conscious decision to hate this movie.
Thank you for the movie.
I did not make a conscious decision to hate this movie. I
Why do you
fucking
hate Ryan
love
Reynolds
this
so much?
Yeah, I fucking love this film. I had such low expectations going into it, and it exceeded it. It's the same thing too with the sequel as well too. I had low expectations, and it exceeded it as well. The only thing that would just be the knock is just the generic Francis bad guy. But everything else, that's just his only weakest point. My wife will always hit me on the side of my arm and go, superhero landing, it's time for that. So anytime we see that.
Nice. Joe, you had it at 2. Why do you hate this movie so much?
So same sentiment as Ronathan. to why I rated it so low is because the Francis, it was better off if you're gonna completely jump the shark as you would with a Deadpool movie. You might as well have Bob with Hydra as the main villain.
They don't
Couldn't
have
Like-
the, they don't have the rights to it. They couldn't.
I know. Just the like the little tongue in cheek reference would be better than Francis.
They did have Bob in the movie though.
They had a
Oh,
Bob.
did they? Oh.
Yeah, when he runs into him at the final scene where he's like, Bob? He's like, haven't run into you since the TGI Fridays.
Oh, that's
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
They couldn't
That's
build
good.
a
So-
villain around someone that you can't say is from Hydra, though. That'd be kind of fucking weird.
That would be the one franchise that could do it. Like, hey, we want him to be the villain, but we can't say where he's from, so it would just be a giant question mark.
Bob from
Yeah,
Hydraulics.
that whole fight took place on a down helicarrier, so that was pretty.
That's what I'm
cool.
saying. Like, the MCU was nice enough to give away that property, so why not Hydra? Like, why not? Why not the use
It
of
was
the name
still
Hydra?
going on.
Yeah.
Still going on in their universe, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, I liked it. Like I said earlier, I'm a sucker for a love story in there. I thought this love story between him and his girlfriend was fucking great. I thought it drove the movie. I thought it was awesome. Colossus was great. I didn't even think that was CG when I first saw it. I thought it was makeup.
Really?
Like, no, yeah. Like at some points you're looking, I was like, whoa, is that makeup? Because it's CG, obviously. But it's like in some I was like, man, this is a fully CG character.
Yeah.
Like
When
I even
he-
saw this in IMAX 3D. I think it was just regular IMAX.
When you see
and it
him
looked
talking,
so fucking good.
when you see him talking,
you
like,
can see
ugh.
Some of it, well, maybe I don't know. But when you're in the IMAX, it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You're just looking at everything. But he looks so good. I like the little atomic. What's her name?
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
There it is.
Zip
I
it,
thought
Sinead
she was
O'Connor.
great. She didn't even. I thought it was great because she didn't know who the hell he was talking about. But people our age knows what he's talking about. And
Yeah.
Wham, come on,
Oh man, yeah.
it's just so good. It's like Deadpool jumped out of the comic books onto the movie screen, and it was a perfect adaptation for me.
I feel like them having a weak villain was kind of a play on the superhero movies of the time, because the
Yeah.
movie was just great and it was kind of a parody of superhero movies, and having kind of a weak villain, it was a personal villain to him. So there was that, and it was more personal than a lot of the other villains on this list, honestly. He had more to do with Deadpool than in some of the other movies on the list, that it's just kind of like, why should we care about this villain? They actually gave
I
you
don't
a
know
reason to care.
He personally
Have you read-
screwed him over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you read if you've read any of the Deadpool comics, it's actually a lot of the times he goes after this make-believe villain or these known villains mistakenly
Mhm.
whenever it's stuff that he causes.
Yeah.
And it's so hilarious. Like he'll set off a nuke on accident whenever he's doing a Merc mission, and then he has to do this
All right,
convoluted
Benitez.
storyline
I'll
of
give
like
you-
who the villain is, and at the end of the storyline it turns out it was him, and he's like, oh, shocker. And that's actually more accurate to Deadpool.
All right. Well, that's the last slide, guys. I think we did it. So again, I'll run through them real quick. If you want to switch back to the screen,
Can you
Chris,
turn off the stop sharing?
stop sharing? All right. So we have Dark Phoenix, Wolverine, Apocalypse, Origins, Last Stand, X-Men United, Days of Future Past, the first X-Men, New Mutants, X-Men First Class, Deadpool 2, Logan, and then the first Deadpool movie as the number one X-Men movie. I don't know. What do y'all think? I hope y'all agreed with our list, because if you didn't, you're wrong.
Yeah, the
I'm
last.
just playing. You're not.
I didn't really get to talk about Deadpool 1, but
No, go ahead. I wanted to get the thing off the screen.
okay. The top three I felt were they were top of the list for me, and it all boiled down to grandma scale for me, and that's like how much fun and entertained I was at the movie. I know that's a nebulous kind of explanation, but for me, I felt Deadpool 1 was probably the more fun, and Deadpool 2 was more fun than Logan, and then Logan was
Thank you for the biddies.
more thought provoking, but then again, it's less watchability, like rewatchability, like Ronathan said. So it doesn't. It has a reason for being number 3 for me, honestly. So,
Yeah, I've watched Deadpool 1 and 2 a lot more times than I've watched Logan 2.5 times, and so like
Mhm.
I don't think I'm ever gonna watch it again. But I'll sit down and watch Deadpool 1 and 2 again multiple times.
Yeah.
I'll watch Deadpool 1 before I watch Deadpool 2.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch Logan again if I'm feeling sad or if I want to listen to like the Smiths or something from like the 80s.
There you go.
If I want to cry, I'll just watch Gurren Lagann because the first 6 episodes, yeah,
You always say that. All right.
it hasn't changed.
Well, we are 30 minutes over. Do we have any last thoughts or anything like that? If you haven't seen these movies and you're a comic book fan, I suggest giving them a watch. You don't have to watch them all in a row. Check them out. They're worth a watch. They're worth a watch.
So
Everyone.
Rob, for everybody that doesn't know, Rob is like the demographic. He's the prime demographic for comic book movies. Like he'll
Because
watch any and all of them.
for the most part, I'll watch them. The thing is, I don't go into movies with expectations. I don't listen to any critics. I go in there, and if I like the movie, I like the movie. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I don't analyze the movie. I turn my brain off when I go into the movies, and I watch it. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it. If I don't, I don't. And it's just bad. So I don't sit there and try to figure out what's the plot. What are they trying? Is there some kind of hidden message? They're doing too much. I don't really think about those things until people start asking me about it. So, like I said last time when we were talking about Justice League,
Mhm.
I liked Justice League when I saw it, but when I watched it again, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with it.
Yeah.
But when I saw it the first time, I thought it was fucking amazing.
Okay.
So,
Before we
ahead.
go any further, please, please, please check out Ronathan's Twitch channel. He's about to go hard on it. Let's get him.
Yeah.
Let's get affiliate for him. Let's force him to get stressed and stressed out over doing things like making emotes.
There he
Oh
is.
my god, a cable.
Nice. That's dope.
So Ronathan plays Among Us with us on Friday nights. You've also done fantasy football. That's over. How many championships did you win?
I won 1 out of 5. I came in second place in 3 other leagues and 8th in another league.
That is really good, man. That is solid. Those are
1 out of
numbers.
5
right
ain't
there.
bad.
Those are solid numbers.
And Mike
Champs here.
can personally attest. He learned more about football watching you talk about fantasy football than he's learned before. Or he learned more about fantasy football, I should say. So you should check that out when fantasy football gets back. But what again are you going to be playing in the future soon, Ronathan?
Friday, streaming Among Us. Next week, Rocket League, followed by Mario Rabbids, the XCOM game, as well as Ash's Rise of the Phoenixborn board game.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Cool.
You guys got anything else?
That's it. Did you already throw the shout outs in the chat there? Or
I can
Mike, if you can pop some shout outs in the
Got
chat
it.
for us.
Got it.
If
Shout
you're
out to
a
Mike,
fan,
even though
yeah,
he's
shout
not
out
here.
from Mike, admitting, modding them, the chat there.
Hell
man
yeah,
amongst the
shout out for
people.
Doom.
Eat all the McRibs. Like, I don't know what your problem is. Today was a bad one. Chris did catch a bad McRib today, and it happened.
2 of them.
Sometimes it just be that way. Jeez, 2 of them.
Yeah, it's like they didn't put the right barbecue sauce. It's like they went out and got the discount double check barbecue sauce, and I asked for no onions. Guess what they had in there?
Extra onion?
Extra onions with 2 pickles. It's like, what the hell is this?
What the fuck?
Those people just hate you.
Oh shit! Thank you for the gifted
Oh,
sub there,
Thank
Mr.
you for the
Game
gift
Switch.
sub, man. You are the. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for that sub. You are stellar, sir.
You were breathtaking.
You're
Cool.
breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
Taking
So we'll get this video up on the YouTube, so you can check it out VOD here on Twitch. We'll put it up on YouTube for anyone that wants to watch it there. And if you are watching this on YouTube, we appreciate you watching it on the YouTubes here and forever till the end of time. You are amazing. Thank you. But I think it's raid time.
Who is on their stuff? Let's see.
Urkalon, Earn, Summon Skull. You want to do Earn? He just started Resident Evil.
Ooh.
And if we go to Earn, ask him about the Mandela effect, everybody. He had a really interesting stream the other day about the Mandela effect and about how we might be shifting back to the correct reality after the Super Collider took us off track.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Is it a thing? Maybe. I don't know. Is it a thing? Maybe. I don't know.
No. That's so weird. All
Ask
right.
Ern. He knows all the things about it.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna do Earn. So, Mike, could you throw Earn in there in the chat if you're there? If you're not, I'll try to get it in there.
Let him know that Large Marge sent you.
It's the Days of Future Past timeline correction.
That's what it was, dude.
Best timeline correction ever.
There we go. Thank
Thuggish.
you for the biddies.
Thank you for the murders. All
Oh,
right.
Large Marge. Sweet
All right.
Meggles is going to be playing Among Us with us on Friday, right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So when
Nice.
I don't want you guys to say anything to Earn right away, just throw in them Daddy Smurfs right away. I want to see a bunch of Daddy Smurfs.
Daddy Smurfs.
Daddy Smurf, yeah.
Oh, Mike already started the raid. He said you're taking too long, Chris.
All right, let's do it. Let's get out of here. Bye, y'all.
Hold on. Is it?
We're holding.
I'm
holding.
trying to. When you do it through chat, it takes so long. It's just sitting there.
We gotta do the countdown now. All right, fine. We'll just sit here and wait for it.
There's no countdown. It's just saying rating with 13, and it's just taking forever. So we'll do the outro right now. Well,
Yeah, we'll run the outro. Yeah. Let's do that. Bye, y'all.
All right. Bye. I'll be safe.
That's going to wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Check out our website, crgr.rocks, for all our latest info. There you'll find a link to help support us via Patreon. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join our conversations on Discord. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for hanging out.